Which group of people comes off as the most pretentious? College freshmen in a psychology course. Coffee snobs. I live in a country that drinks mainly tea. So I needed to Google how to make coffee. How much ground coffee to use in a French press per person. How do you use a mocha pot, etc. You would not believe how snobby and pretentious the Google results were. It was insane. The results were all how to use a mocha pot. Don't. But if you're a sadist or F-king pleb that loves the bitter taste of shitty burnt coffee, I guess here's how. Take the finest for trade Ecuadorian beans handpicked by virgins on the 3rd Saturday of May. Grind them in your 18th century ebony grinder. If you don't use within 15 minutes, throw them out and start again. Double quote. Foodies. I have a buddy that refuses to eat a plate unless some douchey blogger wrote about it. He also equates price with quality. This is sometimes true. But some of my favorite meals have been at dingy little holes in the wall. I like my food authentic and cheap. Not ostentatious and drizzled with a mango chutney reduction. As a musician, we are by far the cringiest and most pretentious group of people in the world. Especially teenage ones. As a former pre-med student, pre-med students, we're so high and mighty about our potential profession, when in reality very few of us will make it to medical school and graduate. And those of us who do realize how douchy we were because we knew nothing as pre-med students. Mixologists. Dated a mixologist, she ruined drinking for me. I'd take her to a normal non-mixology bar and she'd order a cocktail. Take one sip and say something like, "I can't drink this. The ice hasn't been properly aerated. It's got booze in it. Right? If you want aerated ice, order a F-King's now cone." People who constantly complain about certain groups being pretentious. I've never had a vegan, crossfitter, iPhone Android owner or whatever act like that. Hipstercrites. Hypocritical hipsters. You know I'm talking about you, Jimmy. Pissing and moaning about how the local government doesn't support local businesses while holding your grand latte from the super chain. And not even a registered voter. Humph. Natural moms who only feed their kids organic foods. People that have to impose political correctness 100% of the time. Look, I'm not objectifying women when I'm only swiping right on the hot ones. Edit. A word. The F-King Aldmary Dominion. You beat one group of people into submission with your magic. And suddenly I can't worship Talos anymore. Hate those pointy-eared bastards. 19 or 20-year-old college students who know just enough about their major to think they know everything. Youtuber-esque commenters. They are the lowest of low. Every time I make the mistake of wandering off into the comments section of a video, I'm in for a roller coaster of emotions, including but not limited to rage, disbelief, disgust, pity, resentment, and eventually self-loathing because I fell for it again. I know probably a very large portion of them are pathetic trolls trying to get people to argue with them, but still. Nilfgaardians. World travelers. They think they know everything because they have been in the country for one day. Even if it was just the airport. Edit. Punctuation. People who insist there's one correct way to eat a food. People in our food who care about how you cook your steaks. People who hate people who like pineapple on pizza. People who refuse to try butt stuff. How do you know you don't like it if you refuse to even try it once? Philistines. As a soldier, I think a lot of my fellow compatriots can be overly pretentious about what we do. A lot of them are brand new to the army and haven't been jaded by the bullshit yet. They'll belittle people on Facebook for enjoying Memorial Day for the wrong reason and humbly brag about how hard our profession is compared to college or anything else really. Movie people. Oh. You only watch Wes Anderson movies because of blah blah blah? You only watch indies? You only watch foreign films? How's the view from the inside of your ass? Also, I don't watch television, people. Oh. But you watch Netflix and HBO Geo. And Hulu on your computer. That's still watching television. king twit. Edit. I am adding a new one for all the people saying but I don't watch television or Hulu or Netflix or blah blah blah. If you truly don't watch any of those, then the statement does not apply and you are simply commenting to try to feel superior. You are in a new class of pretentious. I have to prove I'm better by ignoring context. The super obsessed fitness crowd. No, not just CrossFitters. All workout styles are the ilk that literally never stop talking about their lifestyle. And holy FCK. All the F-King hashtags they use on Instagram. I've counted over 40 on one post before. Loud. Opinionated people. Doesn't matter what about. Control systems engineers can be pretty bad. They generally only give 2 answers to any given question. 1. Read the datasheet. 2. If you don't know the answer, you need to find a new career hobby. Of course I know to read the datasheet, but it doesn't always have all the answers. And everyone has to learn sometime. No one knows everything from the start. Drives me up a wall. Muppet pigs. I think the common theme here is people who think their interest is superior to others. It's totally cool to be into coffee, food, music, films, etc. But don't act like you're better because you happen to have that particular hobby. First year law school students are the worst. What I've noticed most from this thread is that the most pretentious people are the ones who quantify their merit from what they consume as opposed to what they create. Foodies, tech fanboys, coffee, craft beer, even horse culture is something you consume. And in each of these you have the caveat of those involved in the culture who aren't labeled as pretentious because they are the ones creating, building, learning, and growing. Basically, we'd all rather hear you turn your thighs into a drum kit than listen to you talk about how underground your music tastes are. Now everybody go doodle something. Bake a pie. Or make a charm bracelet for fuck's sakes. I spent a week visiting a friend in Monaco last year. I kid you not. It was like living in Zoolander for an entire week. The people there aren't even real. I'm not like other girls. I play games and hang out with guys because there's less drama. French. Sauce. I'm French. New Age spiritualists. Hiring managers at Silicon Valley companies. 20-21-year-old college students who've had a few philosophy and sociology classes and now suddenly know how to fix all the problems that we Gen Zers are ignoring. Wine snobs, cork dogs, are some of the worst. Only because there's so much bullshit that you have to endure about the inherent qualities of every single wine they taste. Them. You like this one? Me. Yeah. It's fine. Them. You getting that mocha and tobacco right up front. And then that long note of balsam on the finish? I sure am. Me. What? Comma edit. What's a balsam? Close bracket. It. Every group is viewed as pretentious by someone. The most pretentious group of people are the people that think they themselves are unstereotypable because they are too complex and sophisticated to fit into any single category. But they are so quick to stereotype everyone else because they have this delusion that everyone else is simple and no one else is as intelligent, complex, whatever as them. Begin my message to those people. Realize that there is not a single person on this planet that can't be stereotyped in some way and put into a stupid little group. You are no exception. Maybe you're not the Wonderwall playing musician or the vegan that shoves his her beliefs down everyone's throat or the crazy Tumblr feminazi that hates men that you will probably rant and rave about in this thread, but I'm damn sure that some arsehole somewhere could find something that you do, be it a hobby, a habit, or anything, and stereotype you for it. And shame on them for doing so. Every individual has a story that you will never know. A story that cannot ever be fully described by whatever naive, childish stereotype you wish to marginalize them with for your own parasitic satisfaction. There is no person that is so one-dimensional, so flat that they can be wholly described as the hypocritical hipster or the self-absorbed selfie poster or the neck-bearded redditor, etc. Yes, You are right. You are a complicated person with many different feelings. And many different dimensions to your personality. And you are a lot more than any single stereotype that some asshole in your life will try to simplify you with. But guess what? So is everyone else. That person you're criticizing for being a karma WHRE because heaven forbid they've posted the same overused meme that you have already seen yet they still got upvotes for it. That person is also a complex person with actual feelings and a story that is a lot more deep than the one you tried to give them. Do not be so quick to judge everyone around you. And realize that you are not the only person with complex feelings in this world. So what if that guy likes to play the guitar and he comes off as a douche? Don't pretend as if there has never been an embarrassing time in your past where you look back and think, wow, I used to be that guy that did X, Y, and Z. Now recall. When you were that guy. Did you actually realize it at the time? Probably not. I know that when I was in my little punk phase 10 years ago wearing my Hot Topic garb I didn't realize what I was doing could be so easily stereotyped. Understand that this exact moment is probably not an exception. It's likely that years down the road in the future you will look back to where you were at this time of your life as you sit here reading this and think the same thing. Wow, I used to be blah blah blah. And that's perfectly okay. There is nothing wrong with being that guy. There is nothing wrong with doing stuff that other people do. Liking things that are popular or trendy. With being in the majority on something or fitting into some category. There is, however, something hugely wrong with criticizing people who are different from you. Who you think fit stereotype X or stereotype Y. With casting people into a group with the intent to simplify them and strip them of their story. End message to those people. Don't be so quick to judge other people. They have a story just like you. And it has many chapters and many pages. Just like yours. If someone ever tries to take your story away from you, shame on them. Just know that if they were truly satisfied with their own story they wouldn't feel the need to rob you of yours. Rich old women. The ones down here in Florida are really bad. A lot of them talk in fake accents. I heard one talk about how today's kids are so narcissistic because of selfies. She says this as she's wearing a pound of makeup on her face and decked out in diamonds and designer clothes that she probably bought with her rich husband's money. And they all own small dogs that they treat like children. FCK these women. They like to talk about how they want to make the world a better place. But then they treat the people serving them their mocha frappuccinos like they're beneath them. They'll talk about bad people in the world. But everyone who isn't like them is dog shit in their eyes. Everything they talk about has to involve them and what they do for others. Rich, old, Floridian women are so far up their own asses it's not even funny. There's this group I know of. You probably haven't heard of them so I won't even bother saying it. But they're way more pretentious than any of these groups. You probably couldn't even comprehend it. College freshmen majoring in biology with the goal of going to med school. Europeans who look down on Americans for being uncultured or whatever reason. Americans in Europe who try to act like Europeans. Non-vax moms. Engineers are up there. Yes, I know I'm not a real engineer because I don't have a degree. I didn't make my job title, someone else did. BMW motorcycle riders. These are like horsey girls except that they're metros trying their hardest to exude manliness while riding down the road wearing their safety orange landfill vests and $2,000 designer whale foreskin riding suits. I always say, nice Honda. When I see them at the gas station. Really seems to piss them off. People who flaunt their money. You know. The people whose default Facebook picture is them standing in front of a Lexus or holding a bottle of Crystal or something. The people who constantly say poor people are just lazy and they don't work hard enough. Well, work this. Grabs crotch. Redditors. They constantly piss on the opinions of other Redditors to put themselves above them. Source. I am a Redditor and I'm doing it right now. Posh white boys with dreadlocks and a trust fund. Egletonians. Redditors. Even this comment. Bicycle snobs who don their full spandex outfits to ride their $5 000 plus bike. Including to work home. I don't put on a NASCAR fire suit to run to the grocery. Do you really expect the Tour de France to break out on your way to work?